Hello and welcome to Q&A with CNA. I'm Kyle Schwartz, and today our guest is Dr. Colin Christensen, and he is the Doctoral Psychologist Internship Training Director. I wanted to make sure I got all that correct. Perfect. And it's great to have you here, and this is your first time, so we're going to start with a little bit of background about you. So if you could tell us a little bit about where you grew up and went to school and, you know, all that
Absolutely.
good stuff.
Again, my name is Colin Christensen, and I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and then my dad works for Ford Motor Company. Okay. My mom works for Greenfield Village. It's a museum.
That's a very fun place, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So grew up in suburbs of Detroit, had a lot of fun there, real good area. My dad had a boat. We got to go in Lake Erie a lot. For undergraduate, I went to Texas Wesleyan in Fort Worth, Texas.
Far away, yeah.
It is. I got a scholarship, so that worked out nicely. Then for graduate school, I went to the University of Akron. And from there, for my doctoral internship, I went back to Dallas, Texas, at Dallas Child Guidance Clinic, and then moved back to finish my dissertation in Akron, Ohio.
Okay. Well, so you did your practicum at CNA.
Right.
And then you left, and then what brought you back?
Well, I'd worked at a number of different places. I'd worked at Akron Children's, Indian River School, private practice, but none of them really felt like home. Child and adolescent always had been a good place to me, and so when the opportunity arose to come back full time and took advantage of it. Okay.
All right. So you are the CQI coordination agent. Tell us what CQI stands for and what that job is.
Sure. CQI stands for Continuous Quality Improvement, and what I do is I try to help the agency run more smoothly. For example, we provide counseling services to children in the area, but given that it's important work, there's a lot of documentation associated with that. Wow. To the degree possible, I try to make that the documentation requirements less onerous, so it's more efficient. So we're still able to show that we're doing good work, but it's not quite so burdensome for our providers.
Okay, alrighty. And then also, you are the Doctoral Psychology Internship Training Director. So what all does that entail?
Well, we have, in order to become a psychologist, you need to go to undergraduate, and then you go to graduate school, and as part of that, we have an internship experience that helps to finish people so that they're able to go out and be psychologists. And so, as the internship director, I'm responsible for making sure that they have structured training to help them to be let out into the world to be psychologists.
Okay. And how many do you usually have?
Usually we have 4. Right when we're fortunate to have 4. It's really nice too in that they come from across the world. Currently we have a psychologist or a doctoral intern from New York, one from Montana, Pittsburgh. So it's nice. We get to meet people from all over.
That's cool. All right. So how has the clinical psychology department changed over the years?
Great question. One of the biggest ways that this changed is historically one of the hallmarks of a psychologist is we do psychological assessment. The reimbursement rates in the state of Ohio changed such that it's not as feasible to do as much psychological assessment. So historically we did a lot of psychological assessment and testing, and at present we're just not able to make it work, unfortunately.
Okay, and so I'm sure that was, let's be honest, easier to do your job when you can do more assessment.
Assessment is a very, very helpful. For example, children can come in and can be having focusing difficulties, but unless you do good psychological testing, it can be challenging to figure out if perhaps they're having difficulty focusing because of anxiety, because of ADHD. It is a needed service. We're just not able to do it as much as we'd like.
Right, okay. Well, in your current positions, are there more administrative roles, or do you still see clients per se?
Great question. Right now my role is primarily administrative. With that said, on occasion I'll still get the opportunity to see clients from every now and again.
Okay. All right. With the holiday season upon us, as a psychologist, what advice could you give to parents as they work with their children over the holidays? I mean, because there is a lot of stress, whether it's for adults, it passes on to children and whatever.
Sure. No, it can be very stressful. And I would just say, speaking as a parent, I have a son who's 25 and a daughter who's 17, and the biggest piece of advice I would share is, from personal experience, they're only there for a limited time, and so just cherish that time with them and remember they're not always going to be there, and neither are you.
Okay, that's good advice. And if someone would like to have more information about what you do or what programs are available at CNA, how do they contact?
Good question. We can be reached at our Belden office, and that phone number is 330-433-6075. You can call there, and someone will be able to help you.
Okay. What do you enjoy most about your job?
Really, what I like best is setting things up and helping them run smoothly. When I'm able to set up the internship well, when I can see that the interns are happy and learning and that they're progressing, I get a lot of joy from that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and hopefully we'll have you back as a guest in the near future.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you for watching Q&A with CNA. I'm Kyle Schwarz.